Mr. Tulsian, before I come to you about the markets itself, you've heard so many of these companies that are getting into the race now to get a banking license. We just heard a while back that M&M is out of it, but which one would you be most hopeful on?
Sonia, first let me wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now
so
coming straight on the question, I think that this is the logical explanation or the move having taken by Mahindra & Mahindra Group, because it is very difficult for the large finance companies, for large NBFCs, because if you really want to have the CRR and SLR applied for that, that will really be seen a big burdensome, because banks will not be able to mobilize the current the CASA deposits in the near term, and obviously that will be putting the pressure. So probably in its right wisdom, Mahindra & Mahindra Financials have opted out of the race, but otherwise they stood to have a very good chance, because the new guidelines have been saying that financial inclusion will be the key, and considering the presence of the M&M financials in the rural pockets, they would have very much qualified for that. But anyway, they have said that, and in fact they have put a caveat that if the Reserve Bank is prepared to consider, or there is some time gap between the parallel existence of the NBFC and bank both, which I don't think that RBI will agree. So yes, earlier we were expecting that probably 40-45 people will be applying for the banking licenses, including the NBFCs or many of the NBFCs and the PSU companies as well. But now I think the little interest will die down, but still we will be seeing, at least in my view, about 30 applications coming in from the prospective licensees, and maybe about 8 to 10 licenses will get issued by, and the SREI, Infra, JM Financials, they are all seen to be L&T Financials also will be applying for this, Religare. So there are many of these players who will be making applications, and probably maybe in next couple of days things will start heating up, because Monday is the last date on by which the applications have to be submitted to RBI.
Absolutely. News coming in on ITC, where the promoter, YC Deveshwar has sold 10.7 lakh shares in the open market. That stock is down around 3.3%. We'll get you more details with regards to his total holding and how much in terms of a percentage of the total number of shares is being sold or has been sold in the open market. 10.7 lakh shares in the open market. The stock is currently down around 3.3%. Mr. Tulsian, your opinion on this?
See, there was a news about a month back that YC Deveshwar has brought a property in Delhi for about 100 crores. So obviously a professional person who is holding this kind of chunk has to get that kind of money mobilized from the sale of the shares only. But I think that still he must be holding this sizable chunk of the stake in the company, because this just constitutes about maybe 30 crore or so, even if he must have sold in the current time. So just part need-based profit booking must have been done by Mr. Deveshwar, and should not be taken this as a negative view on the stock.
And Mr. Tulsian, what would you recommend?
See, two short call. One I have chosen from the PSU banking space and one from the infra space. So first short, I am going on UCO Bank, because the kind of weakness which we have been seeing all around in all the PSU banking stock, and this is from the high beta mid-size PSU bank. So going short on the bank with a day target of about say 62 with a stop loss of 63.50. And the second stock I'm going short is on IRB Infra. Again, weakness is seen in all the infra stocks, specifically in this stock as well. So day target of 102 with stop loss of 105.50.
Mr. Tulsian, wanted your opinion with regards to JP Power and the cut of 14% that we're seeing this afternoon.
See, they have the larger presence in the Uttarakhand region, and we have already got the news that their hydropower plants are closed. And when you have this kind of negative news coming in, then it multiplies again with the concerns on the debt and the future prospects of their thermal power capacity addition also. Because if you have more of the power generation capacity getting added, even on the hydro or maybe on the thermal fronts, the debts will start piling up in the books of the company, which is also seen quite negative. So the combination of all these factors, but yes, largely to do with the damages having happened to their hydropower plants, and which have been lying shut from maybe 17th June or so.
Okay. Mr. Tulsian, just your quick comment with regards to NFL. You look at the fertilizer space very closely. I don't know how closely you follow it now, but NFL and divestment of 7.64%.
See, Ekta, we are going to see this divestment or OFS of 10 remaining PSUs, to comply with the minimum shareholding norms, minimum public shareholding norms by 8th August, because that is the deadline, and I don't think that government will really be missing on that. So NFL also falls in the same category, and if you see the price erosion, I think this will keep happening, because I don't see fundamental reason for the stocks to really fall, because now with the market cap of close to about 1800 crore and not much debt in the books of the company, and they have 6 plants, of which 2 are based on the gas and 4 on naphtha. So it's I don't think that on a fundamental basis the valuations are looking bad, but it will keep on correcting, and I won't be surprised to see the floor price getting fixed at about 30 rupees, but merely to comply with the minimum shareholding norms, and that's the reason in fact government is just divesting 7.64% to bring it down to exactly 90%. They have not gone for the stake sale of 10% or so. So just a formality, and I think the insurance companies and maybe the LICs of the world will come to subscribe this issue. Yeah.
Mr. Tulsian, what did you make of the way these gold companies are moving, and how do you approach them now?
See, actually, if you really first take 2-3 things, for them, first is the working capital pressure, because obviously majority of them, or I would say that all of them, were going with the non-fund based facilities with 180 days of credit available, which now that window is shut, and there will be huge working capital pressure, number one. Number two, there is inventory loss. All these gold companies are having quantity of their jewelries as well as the gold stock, so they are taking hit on that. And going forward, I think that the appetite for the jewelry are going to fall. People may look to make investment in the raw gold. They may look to buy the sovereigns and the biscuits of the world for making investments, because just to play on the volatility. So that is also will be seen as a big question mark. And apart from that, I don't think that there is comfort on the pricing and the valuations of these companies. Maybe if you take the case of Gitanjali James, with the volume of 1 lakh shares in the first 15 minutes, we have seen now sellers standing for about 18 to 20 lakh shares for taking both the exchanges. So yes, the margin call pressures or maybe the liquidations by the informed circle is making this particular stock quite vulnerable. I won't be surprised to see the stock correcting to a level of 300, 320 in the near term as well. But yes, overall, if you take the case of Sri Ganesh Jewelry, PC Jeweler, Tribundas Bhimji, TBZ, all these stocks I don't think that are really comforting and having question mark on their future working as well.
But Mr. Tulsian, just had a quick question with regards to Ranbaxy. That stock has just gone from one worse amount of news to the next. Do you think that the best days for Ranbaxy are over fundamentally?
I think that that opinion or that view got established maybe about a month back itself, when the Daiichi have said that they will be initiating the criminal proceedings or maybe the mistrust against the erstwhile promoter of the company, because when they have acquired, many of the things were not disclosed to them in spite of the due diligence having carried out by them. And now every day we get to hear the new negative news coming in. We have heard the Mohali unit also coming under the scanner of the US FDA. We have seen the pharmacies stop selling the products, and the substandard or maybe the false certificate having issued by the company. So I don't think that you have respite on a fundamental basis. Sometimes you feel that probably the stock has taken the support, or the further damage is not likely. But I don't think that unless until you have the confirmation or the confidence that no more negative news will come on the company, then only you can take that call. So till that time the concerns continues to remain on the stock.